And it's Thursday, May 21st, 2020. So, welcome to the stream, everyone. Today, I decided to hit record before we do this, so we're actually going to get a recording. When I first started this, I'm like, I'm going to forget some point in time to record. And guess what? Yesterday, I forgot to record our stream. That kind of stinks, but oh well. You'll be able to see kind of what we did yesterday. We're inching closer to our 9,000 experience points, so I don't think we're going to get it today. We're going to stream for a pretty decent amount of time today, at least an hour for sure. What else are we going to do? No stream tomorrow, so just to keep that in mind, tomorrow is a non-school day. So we're just going to kind of have some fun today. It is my birthday, so congratulations to me for surviving another year. Not a big deal. Anyways, also no stream on Monday because it is Memorial Day. Get outside, enjoy yourself. It is absolutely gorgeous out. So that's awesome. Go for a walk before the rain gets in here over the weekend. So that said, let's go ahead and transition over to Car Mechanic Simulator. And we're just going to kind of, it's going to be a little bit more laid back today, our afternoon stream. So, anyways, yesterday's stream we got into our Ford F-150, also known in this particular game as an Earthquake Rex, which is kind of appropriate. So we dug in and we took all the parts off, and now, as you can see, we went back in and purchased everything that we needed to purchase, and we're going to assemble things now. So hopefully this won't be too bad. Then we'll get over to our secondary car here, which kind of has a Mitsubishi Eclipse vibe, but I think it's trying to model itself after an Audi based off of that grille. So, alright, let's stop the chatter and get to work. Alright, so we just got brakes on this thing, so that seems to be standard operating procedure on most of the cars that come into our shop these days. Brakes, 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 brakes. But they are incredibly important to get right. As you can see here, calipers, pads, and rotors. Oh my. Okay. Disc brakes all around. I'm okay with that. Alright, brakes are all on, tires are all on. Let's go ahead and take a look at our exhausts. Let me sweep around here. Can I get to this muffler? Can't. How about this muffler? I don't think I'm going to be able to get up there. And I'm not going to be able to get over here either because it's going to be kind of quasi-frustrating. So things got to be pretty much like off the screen. There we go. Just got to select a different component. Alright, let's get in here and take care of... Wow, why does it shoot me all the way back over there? No. Okay, there we go. I wonder if we're going to be able to... Let's get these pieces on here first. We got our flywheel, clutch, pressure plate, of course our clutch release bearing, transmission. Again, kind of always going opposite to one another. Just make sure that sits in there properly. Alright, there's our transfer case. which we would obviously want to make sure that we would be filling up the transmission fluid and the transfer case gear oil. Oh, I had it there. Oh, come on, baby. I'm just gonna spam my clicky clicky. Alright, we'll get that later. We'll get the front one. Get that there, and our cat. Okay. Let's go ahead and there we go. Get our long extension. I can't click on those. There we go. No? Yeah, there we go. Alright, drive shaft is in. Oh, is there anything else that we had to take care of? Pretty sure we got our starter that we can put in here. Alright, all these other things I believe we're going to have to put in up top. Don't forget to put oil in this beast. Alright. I think everything else is up top. Okay, and everything's clear. Beautiful. Alright, let's go ahead and get in the easy things here, like our alternator. And we'll get our battery in. Air filter base, air filter, and our top. We got 4 clips on here holding that down. Beautiful. Throw that fuel filter on. Now we just have our cylinder heads. Kind of odd that there's only 6 bolts holding that together. Alright, spark plugs. Okay, there's that. Let's get this other side in. Alright, cool. Alright, timing belt there. And timing belt there. Alright, let's get our exhaust manifold on next. And let's see, we'll get this exhaust manifold over here on. And we got our ignition coils. Alright, we'll throw our throttle on. Alright, let's go ahead and get over here to our other valve cover. Beautiful. Fuel rails, fuel injection. Okay, now it just comes to putting in our water pump and all our pulleys and whatnot. Alright, then we got our lovely serpentine belt. And our other one. Got our idler roller. And we have our tensioner. Get that radiator going on there, and our shroud. Okay, I think that's it outside of oil. Let's double check. Yes. Alright, so let's go ahead and fill that oil up. Oh, where are you? There you are. Yeah. That's shiny. Always pulling the van out of the driveway. In case you were wondering. There we go. Alright, and let's just do a quick check on that just to make sure we got it correct. Perfect, just like normal. Okay, I think that is everything. Yes. Quite a list on this particular truck. I'm hoping this will get us a good amount of XP. So we're sitting at 7,644. We're going to earn $5,436 from this, which we're getting up there, which will be good because when we do want to go auction off for a car, we're going to need some cash plus some money for upgrades. So let's see what we got. 7,600. I got 100 for that. Wow. Okay. Talk about cheap. Well, I can already tell that this thing needs to come off. What else do we got here? I thought I saw some other. Yeah, trunk's shot on this as well. Headlight looks bad. Rear bumper doesn't look too shot. Alright, right headlight's gone. Yeah. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get in here and replace this stuff right away. Sakura Moon. Alright. In case you were wondering, they're not coming for me. Alright, red headlight. We need the trunk. Right front fender. Okay. And we got that headlight too. No? There we go. Right taillight. Yep. Okay. Right taillight. Okay, let's go ahead and sell all this stuff. And let's go ahead and check that out. So, repair damaged body parts. Rear bumper too. Okay. I didn't. Rear bumper doesn't look horrible, but where's our rear bumper at? There it is. Okay. I don't want a tablet. I want my inventory. Sell that. Okay, so that's one thing down. A lot of exhaust brake problems, put in timing parts, general engine control, and repair. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Ooh, baby, there's some rusty parts. Alright, so we got ABS systems, our module, and our pump. Let's see here. We're gonna have heat shield needs to get on. Turbocharger. That's gonna be from the bottom. Okay. I can't do that yet because I gotta take off the tensioner, which is shot. Now typically if your tensioner's shot, you're going to want to definitely make sure you're pulling off some pulleys, replacing those, because they do wear together. power steering pump. Okay. I do believe we have some timing issues, so we're just gonna, right? Pull this stuff out too. Okay, so that's that. Okay, timing stuff we got taken off. General engine control and repair. Okay, let's get back in here. Oh, I can't do that, huh? Well, before we do really crazy stuff. No, it didn't. Those are pretty good condition. Okay, cool. Don't have to worry about that. Let's go ahead and take this off. Easy enough. Alright. I'm gonna take everything off. Alright. Still looks okay. Let's go ahead and get back in here. Okay, general engine control. Alright. Let's go ahead and look through here quick. Ooh, muffler shot. Fuel tank looks good. Okay. No? Based off this, it looks fine. Alright, well, let's start tearing some of the stuff off. All this stuff. Oh, I can see our fuel rail is shot. Okay. We're gonna have to take off these. Get her head off. Oh, we got some pistons that need to be replaced. Alright, cool. Well, I think we found our problem, so it's time to go ahead and raise that up. I'm going to start making notes on what we're going to have to be replacing here. Let's get these brakes off, though. Okay, how does that look? Looks good on this side. Let's go ahead and get this tire off. Alright, this side looking good there. Okay. Okay. Everything else looking mighty fine. Okay, not that it's really giving me a ton of information on this visual, because I mean, here you got rusty parts that obviously need to get replaced, but it's not kind of. Alright, now we'll get up here, get that part out. We gotta drain the oil first. Oh, alright. Alright, let's see if we can drain this oil without my fingers getting all oily. Ready, and... Oh, look at that! Hands aren't oily. Oh, Mr. Getsky, it's a video game. You are correct, it is a video game. Alright, so we got that there. Now we can get rid of these pistons. Is that going to allow me to do it from the bottom now? Let's go ahead and move that over here. Okay, let's just do a double check here on our parts. So, loud exhaust, we got all that. Brakes, we got. Timing parts, we got. And there's still 3 things we haven't discovered. So, for sure the 2 things are pistons. 1, 2. Might just replace that since we're going to do an oil change. There's probably a bushing somewhere that we're going to have to replace. Oh, what that? Alright, let's go ahead and lower her down. Where's my pen at? Here it is. Whoa, I don't know. Alright. And let's see if we can get those pistons out now. Yes. Take all of them out. Okay, that should give us everything but one problem. General engine control and repair. Must be something with a gearbox maybe. Okay, let's go ahead and start making a list of things we gotta buy. So we got cam gear. Front exhaust section. That's going to be a turbo. Fuel rail. And that's a direct injection. That's what the DI stands for. So we got an oil pan. That's for an inline 4. That's what the I4 stands for. Meaning that all 4 cylinders are in line with one another, right? It's in line. Piston with Conrad. We're going to need obviously 2 of those. Power steering pump. And that's again for an inline 4, which is most 4 cylinders are inline 4s. And we got a turbo. Okay, let's see here. Timing parts, we need belt tensioner, as we normally need. Because again, if you're replacing a belt on your vehicle, you're not just replacing the belts. You got to replace the tensioner and an idler if you got it. And the reason for that is because that belt and tensioner and idler kind of work again in the system. So that way, if you are having issues with the belt, there's probably they've worn together, and if you throw a new belt on the worn parts for the other belt, either that new belt might not sit in there properly and it can wear out faster, or that tensioner can freeze up, which is not good for the belt, obviously. So get in the habit of, if you're going in to get a belt replaced, whether it's a timing belt, serpentine belt, V belt, make sure that they replace the tensioner and an idler, or the idler if you have it. It's going to cost a little bit more money, but plan out for that. Okay, don't be cheap, and just buy the least common denominator though, because eventually you'll have to go back and spend even more money. Do it right the first time, and get that stuff taken care of the right way. Alright, ABS module. And I totally understand like why a person would do that too. Like, hey, they're trying to rip me off. They're trying to just buy me parts that aren't needed. But if your mechanic or technician honestly tells you about certain things, again, they want to make sure that you have a well-functioning machine. You'll come back a week later, because then if you come back a week, guess what they're gonna do? You're gonna blame them for obviously not getting things fixed properly the first time. Now there are obviously some shady people out there that'll tell you, oh yeah, hey, your blinker fluid needs to be changed. But that's why going through this and learning it is so critical and important, so you can actually understand the language, understand the systems, at least on a basic level, so that way when push comes to shove, you can have those conversations just like you would with maybe like a doctor or something. Oh, I forgot the exhaust. You know, most people nowadays, instead of going to their doctor for things because it costs money, and they don't want to get that professional opinion, they do a Google search and they get Dr. WebMD. And you know, don't do that, because the answer is always cancer. And you're probably going to be going through a lot more anxiety by trying to self-diagnose. Okay, leave it to the professionals. They know what they're doing. They see more cars on a daily basis than what you do probably in 3 years, without a doubt. So if you're not planning on doing this full time, obviously a good solid foundation is there, so that way you can feel confident in what you know and confident in what you don't know. So that way you can get the right people for the job. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to come in and we're going to take off this transmission. I think our component that we're looking at, our missing component, is probably going to be in here somewhere. Alright. Oh, that actually looks stinking good. Alright. That's all looking great. Yeah. And it can't be our silly airbox filter that we normally do. You know what? It's probably our crankshaft. When you look at it, that thing is dark. Yeah, that's our crankshaft, is our missing piece. I mean, if you had that oil pan off, you'd be able to tell very easily in the real world. Alright. Crankshaft, right? Crankshaft. Alright, that is our last component to purchase, so let me get that in our lists. Alright. Crank shaft, and again for inline 4. Okay, now comes to the fun part of shopping for all these fun things. Alright, let's get into our car parts, and I'm just going to kind of round robin this thing. Alright, cam gear for just cam gear. Now, let's just kind of go through this. How do I know it's this particular cam gear other than what it just tells me? Okay. Cam gear right here is for an inline 4, as you can see in I4, but it says an SOHC, single overhead cam. Okay, we don't have a single overhead cam. I6 is an inline 6, V6 is a V6. So again, an inline 6 is where you would have your 6 cylinders arranged in a single line. A V6 is where you would have 3 here and a 3 here, creating that V-shaped wedge. Very common to find a V6 in a lot of cars. A lot more compact. So then that way it can fit in engine bay properly. Inline six is nice. Well, obviously it's longer, so not every car is going to be able to fit that. But inline six, they're nice because they do generate a lot more torque because everything's in line. So it's just different ways to have the cylinder arrangement to produce varying different power and whatnot. So here we have a V8 with an overhead valve. We have a W12. Again, a W12 is 12 cylinders, but instead of a V shape, it's a W. So you have a V6 here and a V6 here, and if you think about it putting together, guess what you get? A W. So that's where we get the W12. And you have 6 and 6, so 6 plus 6 is 12. So we're going to buy that. Alright, I probably spent way too much time discussing that, but hey, free information for everyone involved. From exhaust section, when we want the turbo, right here. Okay, fuel rail, and as we discussed earlier, that is a direct injection instead of a manifold injection. We're directly injecting it into the cylinder. Oil pan for an I4. That would obviously come with a gasket in real life. We have a piston with a conrod. We need 2 of those. Power steering pump. The nice thing about a power steering pump, if you've never driven a car without power steering, you're going to have a nice forearm workout. Now, at higher speeds, not a big deal because you still turn. But at lower speeds, wheels tend to kind of shift a little harder. So what they do is they introduce a hydraulic pump that forces hydraulic fluid through the system. So as you turn your wheel, the hydraulic pump then assists you in turning the wheels at lower speeds, and it's not quite as much of a workout. Pretty nice stuff. In order to generate that hydraulic pressure, you need a power steering pump. We're starting to see a lot more newer cars nix the whole hydraulic part of the thing and just introduce electronic motors or electric motors to do our assisting. So if you ever go under your hood and you're looking for your power steering fluid reservoir, which is just a tank that holds all the power steering fluid, you can't find it, most likely you probably have electronic power steering. In that case, it's much cleaner. Works just as well, if not better. And it doesn't rob horsepower like you would at the power steering pump because it has to turn through a belt that's hooked up to the crankshaft. Alright. Turbo. Turbocharger. I'm not going to get too much into how turbos work today. But basically what happens is we're going to siphon some of our exhaust gases coming out of our engine, and that's going to basically turn a fan that's hooked up to another fan, and that exhaust gases power up the one fan that sucks in more air, and it basically charges up or compresses that air going into the engine, so more air, more power, because you can get more gas. A great way of being able to generate more horsepower on smaller engines, like a 4-cylinder. Okay, we need 2 of these, right? No, we just need 1. Okay, water pump. And just like our power steering pump, we have our water pump, which is in for an inline 4. That's just gonna, it's basically hooked up to our crankshaft again, through some pulleys. And it's a fan, but instead of compressing more air or circulating hydraulic fluid, it's circulating coolant inside of our engine, which is going to obviously help regulate the temperature of our engine. If we didn't have this, our engine would be getting very hot very quick, and it would be locking up on us because temperatures inside a combustion engine could reach 4,000 plus degrees pretty quickly. Alright, ABS pump. Okay. Brake caliper. Need 3 of those. Alright. Brake disc. Just a single one of those. And the ventilator right there. So the only difference between this one, the brake disc on the right of your screen, is a solid piece of metal that's able to be compressed between the brake pads to help slow the vehicle down. The ventilated one allows for more air circulation, so this particular brake disc can get cooler faster, which allows you to obviously brake faster and longer and harder. Typically your ventilated ones are going to be in the front, your non-ventilated will be in the rear, because again, 70-30 split typically in regards to 70% of your braking power is going to come from the front brakes. Alright, brake pads. And there's a whole host of different brake pads on the market these days. Basically a material that's going to generate the friction and turn the motion of your brakes into heat. Kind of cool. Exhaust pipe. We want just a normal exhaust pipe. Front exhaust section for our turbo. Right here. And we have a rear muffler for inline 4. And finally we have our crankshaft for inline 4. Okay, that concludes all of our buying stuff. So I'm going to go in here. We're going to sell all of our bad stuff so when we go to install we don't accidentally put this, reinstall it back into our vehicle. Because that would not make our customer happy and it would make us have more work to do without getting paid. Did we buy an oil pan? Yeah, we did. Okay. So that's why I wrote it down. Okay. I think we are ready to reinstall stuff. So let's go ahead and have at her. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is get our crankshaft in there. You can see here how shiny that is compared to our other one that we took out. Alright. By the way, if you hear any screaming, that's my kids outside right now playing in the new toy sprinkler thing that they got. My youngest son turned 3 2 days ago. So it's been a whole week of birthdays. Alright, let's go ahead and reinstall our flywheel, our clutch plate, pressure plate. Again, we come in here with a crisscross pattern just to make sure that pressure plate is holding that clutch plate in. Gearbox. Same idea with our transmission. In this case it's a transaxle, which all that really means is that it's a front wheel drive vehicle and the transmission and the differential is all kind of combined together. Okay, that looks good. Alright. Alright, and I think we can get our exhaust on here. Okay. Typically too, when you're doing brakes on a vehicle, you'll notice that your rear disc brakes, if you have rear disc brakes, are a little bit smaller than their front ones. And again, that goes back to roughly 70%, 30% split in your braking power. You don't need that huge amount of brakes in the rear, at least on a typical passenger car. Now, on a performance vehicle or like a race car, you'll probably have equally large brakes because, again, it's all about racing and stopping. Okay, did we get everything on here? I don't think we did. We still got our oil pan, which we can't do because we got to put our pistons in. Alright, let's go ahead and throw those guys in. Nope. Can I... What? We now have... There we go. Alright. I'm just going to throw the things that we took off here in real quick. Just to empty out our inventory. Alright, power steering pump. Alright, good. Now we got our cylinder head. Again, there would be a gasket on there between the engine block and the cylinder head. We got our two camshafts. So we don't have a single overhead cam, we have a dual overhead cam. And we got our valve cover. Again, this would have a gasket on it. All these gaskets are there to help prevent, it does more than what I'm going to tell you it does, but basically it just makes sure things are sealed up properly so oil is not leaking into the cylinders, or the combustion chamber is not obviously leaking, or coolant's getting in there. That is all bad stuff, and there's ways to be able to diagnose whether that's happening in your vehicle. So if you're suspicious again of, gee, my car's not working right, and I noticed that something's not normal, or at least it's not regularly happening, take it to your mechanic. They can diagnose it because they can say, hey, you notice that your oil is really cloudy, it looks milky. That's a dead giveaway of a particular, or it's a characteristic flaw of something that's wrong in the vehicle. And when they're tearing things apart, if they're a good mechanic, they'll come in and actually say, hey, while we were doing this, we noticed X, Y, and Z. Go ahead and take that care of that, because at that point in time, it honestly is less money because they've already taken stuff apart. So you might as well do it. And again, cars are expensive to own, so make sure that you got some kind of money saved up, set aside specifically for maintaining your vehicle. Well, the good news is if you take a class like what we have at Fond du Lac High School, like Auto 1 or 2, we can teach you some basic maintenance stuff that you can probably do in your driveway. Obviously, Auto 2 is geared more for students that are looking at it as a career into automotive industry. But don't be put off, even if you're not planning on going into the industry. Lots of different jobs in the automotive industry. Keep in mind, it's the second largest kind of career field outside of healthcare. So you are going to be touched one way or another when it comes to automotive. And because your car is most likely your second largest purchase you've ever made, it would make sense to go in and learn something about it. So you're watching the stream and you want that opportunity, I would encourage you to sign up for Auto 1. And we can get you a year-long course and really get a lot of good stuff in your back pocket. What tools you might want to look at buying, how to use them, to just lots of different stuff for the car. I mean, you could spend 3 years talking about this. Do we not? Do we not put the right one on? What are we missing here? Did we buy an extra one? We must have. Okay, everything's looking pretty darn good on this guy. Okay, let's go ahead and lower that hood down. Let's see here. Alright. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So we're going to get almost 10 grand for that. Lots of stuff that obviously needs to take care of. So again, this is just kind of a simple lesson. Hey, I don't want to maintain my car, you know, going through regular maintenance on a yearly basis on this sort of stuff. I'm going to push it off, push it off, push it off. Eventually all the stuff's going to kind of start collapsing together because, again, lots of different systems. Things are intertwined inside your vehicle. If one thing is needing maintenance and you neglect it, that's going to lead to other things breaking down prematurely. So make sure that you're keeping up on your routine maintenance. And as you can see here, 10 grand to fix a lot of different parts that could have been probably at least preventative maintenance. Could have prevented some of the stuff. So it costs you money at the time, but otherwise it costs you more later. So let's go ahead and finish this job up. Well, we don't have any oil. We definitely don't want to give that back to our customer without any oil. Did I? Yeah, I did install. And full. Alright, cool. You know what? Always check the dipstick. Good. You don't want to ever get back a customer without that. Alright. There we go. And now we're peaking at 8,000 RPM, or 8,000 XP, not 8,000 RPM. Alright, so we got taking 2 cars here. Let's see here. Can we do something? Let's see. This one's general running gear, control and repair, loud exhaust, repair all gearbox faults. That doesn't sound too bad. We got a Maserati. Corporate performance car is loud. Let's do that one. Maserati. Expensive car, and that's something you'll probably also notice. One of the assignments that we just gave you guys, if you are currently enrolled in Auto 1 or Auto 2, is actually go out and, hey, let's figure out a new car purchase, right? Or not a used car purchase. You have a max budget of $10,000, but can you buy a car that's $9,999? No, because that includes insurance. You need to buy insurance, taxes, titles, licensing fees, gasoline, things along those lines. So you're going to notice that more expensive cars typically are more expensive to maintain. So it's totally okay to for your first couple cars not to buy something expensive. Go out and buy that $3,000 car. Yeah, it might need some maintenance right off the bat, but you know what? You can do it. We've given you the tools to do it. Go buy that car, take care of it, bring it up to spec so you can drive it safely, and start saving up for another car. Once you get $2,000 in the bank, you got a $3,000 car, trade that in, get some money back for it, because it's obviously not going to drop in a lot in price because you're maintaining it, and it's probably quite a few years old. Use that $2,000 cash, put it together towards a $6,000 car, and just keep doing that. After a while, after several years of doing that, a pretty nice car that won't need to be maintained as often, just due to the fact that it's newer, right? Less wear and tear. And away we go. Okay, let's take a look at this. Alright, lots of stuff. Let's get her over to the lift. I'm just going to pop under the hood here quick. And that ABS module does look a little shot, so I'm going to replace that right away so that way we don't have to get into this. We got exhaust manifold too we got to take off. Okay. How is this one? Okay. So let's go ahead and exhaust manifold. Oh, what kind? So this is going to have V8. You can see here the valve covers giving you that V shape. So exhaust manifold V8 is the one we want. There it is. Okay, then we have our ABS module. We don't want the module, we wanted the pump. Where's the pump? No, we wanted the module. What am I doing? Alright. We'll go ahead and put that new exhaust manifold on as well. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and get into here and we're going to sell all this stuff. I'm going to lower that hood down and we're going to get that stuff. Alright. Okay, let's get some tires off and go from there. Yeah, these brakes are shot. Everything else looks pretty good. Alright. This might be a pretty quick job. Looks good.
But this is wrong. Can you shut it?
Nothing too crazy there. Hard to tell. Like, I'm looking for bushings too. Pads are bad, rotor's bad. Everything else good. And as you suspected, our exhaust pipes not so good. And I bet you this one's gonna make us go. Okay. Well, we're gonna go up front more. There we go. Let's get back in here and write down what we need. Alright, brake caliper. Times 3. We have discs. We have discs that are ventilated. Times 2. Brake pads 3. And we already took care of that ABS module. Alright, so we got our catalytic converter times 2, which again, if you haven't heard me say this before, if your cat is not working, oh boy, cat is not working, wow. That's what happens when you get old. If your cat is not working, there's something else going on. You're going to have to do some additional diagnostics because cats are not meant to fail. They're there for the lifetime of the vehicle. They can fail, however. Middle muffler times 2. If stuff like coolant is getting in there, and the only way coolant is getting in there, and we already took care of our exhaust manifold. The only way coolant is going to get into your cat is if it's leaking out of the engine block somewhere. So that's going to be a fun story to try to dig that through. Alright, let's go ahead and purchase this stuff. So first things up, brake caliper times 3. We need our brake disc. One of those. 2 ventilated. We have our brake pads. We need 3 of those. Although in real life I'd do 4. There are some certain things that when one breaks down, you're going to want to do the other one right away as well. Because again, it's part of that balance system. You don't want one brand new and one not, and then come to find out that will affect the performance of your vehicle. I'll just straight up say it. We're looking for the exhaust. Front exhaust. No. Just want exhaust pipe. It's manifolds. We don't want manifolds. Oh, just an exhaust pipe. There it is. We need 2 of these. Front exhaust pipe for V8. Middle muffler times 2. Alright, middle muffler times 2. And a rear muffler for our particular. There we go. Alright, that should get us everything we need. Whoa, glitch in the system. Maybe we can just do this. There we go, that's much faster. Albeit louder. The song of my people. Okay, we got everything there. Actually... yeah, we got everything there. Alright, time to repair things. Here's the fun part, put things back together again. Seems like taking things off can be not so fun, especially in Wisconsin, where we have this thing called the rust. Although a good acetylene torch or a mini ductor, maybe some PV blaster, should be good to go. Alright, all 4 wheels are good to go. Now comes the fun part of the exhaust. See if we get the right angles on this stuff. Alright, back section's going in pretty easy. Let's go ahead and fast forward up to here. Alright, let's get our front exhaust pipe on, one of our catalytic converters on, and there's our other one. Alright, cool. Cool. I believe that is everything. So cool, $6,700 for that Maserati. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and lower this down though. Don't want to put the customer in it. Not gonna kid you, it's not a bad looking car. I would not oppose to only one of those. Alright, finish that job up. Just only about 100 XP on that one. Oh, we're getting closer. We are getting closer. Let's go ahead and take a look at another car. Oh, this one's cake. I was going to end the stream here, but you know what? We're going to do this one first. This is just body work. Maybe a paint job. Easy XP. Okay. Left tail light, right. Rear right door, right headlight. Rear headlight. Rear right door. Is that what they said? Yep, rear door. What was it? Tail light? Left tail light. Okay. Oh, what kind of car is this? Maserati Quattroporte. I butchered that. Body part shop. Of course I did spell that right. It's not going to search for it either. Alright, fine, let's just go all. Alright, Maserati. Probably going down to the M's would be helpful. Yes, they have DeLoreans in this. Alright, getting there. There's a Maserati Sebring. Okay, so we want left tail light. Rear right door. Left tail light. Was it left headlight or the right headlight? I don't know. We'll find out here. Left headlight. Okay. Okay. Right headlight. Huh. Okay. Huh. Got 100 XP for that. I'll take that all day long. Alright, let's see what we're going to do for next week, Tuesday. What's going to be the first one that we're going to do? Mercedes-Benz? Let's do that. Yeah, I like that. 300 SL. My goodness. There she is. Classic. I mean, it's not a car for me, but man, you wouldn't say that that wouldn't turn your head if you saw that riding around in Fond du Lac. Alright, cool. So, I'm going to go ahead and quick save it. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to quit our stream there for today. Thank you guys for coming out and watching. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of the day. Happy birthday to me. We'll probably have some cake later. So, yeah, as you get older, kind of birthdays get a little bit boring. But we had a lot more fun with my 3-year-old's birthday 2 days ago. So, that was even better. Proud Papa for that. Anyways, we'll see you guys again Tuesday, 9 a.m. No Google Meeting on Monday. No stream tomorrow. So have a good weekend. We'll see you guys later. Let me get this thing set up. There we go. All right. Catch you guys on Tuesday. Bye now.